Saturday morning at approximately 3:30 a.m., Oklahoma City police officers tried to stop a vehicle in the area of Northwest 92nd and Harvey for speeding. The vehicle slow rolled or continued to move until it got to a driveway in the 300 block of Northwest 92nd Street, where it pulled over. As the officer was exiting his car, the suspect exited his car and ran. The officer pursued that suspect several houses through the neighborhood, jumping fences, was able to catch up with the suspect, and we believe the 300 block of Northwest 91st Street, where a scuffle ensued between the two. During the struggle, the suspect was able to obtain the officer's firearm. He continued to flee from the officer and fired at the officer as he fled. The officer returned to his patrol car to retrieve a secondary weapon and notified other officers of the incident. Other responding officers responded to the area and set up a perimeter around the North Highlands neighborhood. Multiple officers going through the neighborhood, searching the area on a house-by-house and car-by-car basis, were able to obtain information which led them to believe that the suspect had broken into a house in the 300 block of Northwest 87th Street. It was a vacant house. They set up a perimeter on that house, called out the TAC team, and after approximately 2 hours of trying to negotiate the individual out of the home, they entered the house with a robot from the bomb squad. Determined that the suspect had fled into the attic area. They continued to negotiate till the suspect came out of the home. He was taken into custody. That suspect was identified as a Stephen Lampkin. He's a black male, date of birth 8/24/83. Mr. Lampkin was found to have several outstanding warrants, city charges, possession of CDS, failure to pay child support, and DUI warrant. He will incur additional charges as a result of this arrest. Those additional charges will be shooting with intent to kill, possession of a firearm after former conviction of a felony, possession of a firearm after former conviction of a felony, pointing a firearm after former conviction of a felony, robbery by force and fear, and assault and battery on a police officer. The officer's weapon was later located in a yard where the gentleman discarded it.